Hello and welcome to this EmStat4/PSTrace tutorial video. Today I want to show you how you can put your own scripts and methods behind the buttons on the EmStat4T's touch display. Two different ways of doing this. We're gonna basically just go from PSTrace's MethodSCRIPT editor, so you enter the things exactly as you used to, and we're going to work with the visual MethodSCRIPT editor, which allows you in a very easy drag and drop way to program even more complex scripts for yourself. First, we need an EmStat4T. I have that here. For it to work, it needs to be switched on. I just hold the button and it is switched on. To program or put any data onto the EmStat4T, you need to connect it via USB. In that situation, a Bluetooth connection won't do, I'm afraid. First, we start by connecting to the EmStat4T. And when we are connected to the EmStat4T, we should see the Show MethodSCRIPT button. If you don't see it, don't worry. Just go to Tools, General Settings, and check if a developer option Show MethodSCRIPT editor is checked. So if it isn't checked, the button isn't visible. Use the MethodSCRIPT editor just as you usually do by choosing a technique and filling in all the parameters, and you're good to go to put the script onto your EmStat4T. So first we click on Show MethodSCRIPT. If you are used to program with MethodSCRIPT, you know that for many people this is the starting point. You click that button, you see the method script, and you can copy it to wherever you like and start modifying it. In our case, we don't want to modify it a lot. We want to put it directly onto our EmStat4T. For that, you need to open the visual editor. This is a new software that we have launched together with the EmStat4T. In the light blue box, you see your own script. Then the visual MethodSCRIPT editor adds a few things to make it nice and compatible with the EmStat4T. For example, the function that the data is saved internally when performed on the EmStat4T. If I want to install something on my EmStat4T, I make sure I have the right device connected. Well, I only have one EmStat4T connected, so this is already done here for me. Then, if I want to install what I see in the window on the EmStat4T, I click on the button Install App. Then I see the 4 slots for the 4 buttons on the touch display. You can have a different script behind each of these buttons. Just a warning, when you put a script on a button where there is already a script, that old script is just overwritten. So every time you make a script and you think you might use it more than one time, maybe also save it. I just put here a script, which I call EIS because that's the measurement that we're doing, and I put it on an empty slot. So on slot number 3. If I wanted to save this script, I would just go to File and click Save As and save it wherever you like. So now I have already installed my app on the EmStat4T. So to demonstrate that, I will use our regular dummy cell. The dummy cell has a Randall circuit on the back where the serial resistor has 560 ohm and the parallel resistor has 10 kilo ohm. I enter into the EmStat4T, then I press Load Script and I choose the EIS script. And it's performing an impedance spectroscopy. I could also do that, by the way, not being connected to PSTrace if I wanted to. I can repeat this measurement or I can just end now the script. That seemed very simple, but where's my data? Since you did perform it on the EmStat4T, it is also saved on the EmStat4T. Let's have a look how you get to this data. I close this visual methods editor. And again, here a warning, when you close it, it will not save this script in the visual method editor. If you want to have it in this visual way saved, go to File and save it there. Here, when you close the visual method editor, you will first get the usual MethodSCRIPT editor, the non-visual one, with the full ASCII code that is exactly the same as you just saw in a visual way. Again, if you want to save it, this is now a good point to do it if you just want to save it as an ASCII code. That makes it also easy if you're usually programming on a different platform. You can use the visual editor to make your script, close the visual editor, get this ASCII code and copy it to your other platform. Now I can close this. My data is under data and I can load it from the internal storage because it was saved internally on my EmStat4T. So I just click here. Then under script, it is saved. And here is my data. I can just open it. And then I have here my impedance spectroscopy of my dummy cell. So that is the first way how to get a script very straightforward on the EmStat4T. This is very handy if you perform the same measurement a lot. You can just carry the EmStat4T with you, connect the electrode or the sample that you want to measure, press the button, the measurement is done, you do all your measurements, you go back to a computer and load the data from the internal storage. But maybe you want to do more. Also, you use more of the functions of the EmStat4T. Then you can go to the visual MethodSCRIPT editor directly and start from a, let's say, clean point. You go to Tools, you go to Visual MethodSCRIPT editor, and now I have this blank page, except for this one. There's one frame already there because always the instrument needs to know what it does when the script is finished. But let's start with the beginning of the script. First, I want to do a measurement, and the measurement I want to do is a chronoamperometry. So drag and drop that in here. Let's say I want to apply 1 volt for a runtime of 2 seconds, and I take every 100 milliseconds a value. Usually you put into this loop a way how to save your data, send packages, etc. For the sake of this video, I will just not do it, but we can do something a bit nicer. We can update our display while the measurement is running. So the things you put in the loop is something that is happening while the measurement is running. So it's basically happening with every point of the measurement. We want to show as an icon on the display a spinner. So this is this little waiting icon. We want to show a progress bar for the measurement. We could show also text if we wanted to, but I will just skip that for now. Then after the measurement has finished, I want to check if the current has a certain value. After my measurement loop, which you see it ends where it's the same color as the measurement command. So now this if block, I want to check if the current value that was measured last is bigger than 50 microampere. Then what happens if this is the situation, if it is bigger, and we would expect a bigger value because we expect almost 100 microampere. So if this is the situation, then I want 2 things. I want the display to show something. I want a noise that says this is good. Let's look at the 2 things. So for the display, I want to see an icon. There's a list of icons that we already pre-made for you, but you can upload also your own custom icons. How that is done, we will show you in another video. So we want to see the OK, and we want to hear a beep. We have already pre-programmed 2 beeps for you, but of course you can compose your own beeps if you want to. Now, I can copy now, for example, this command, and I just paste it in here. If the situation is not that the current is above 50 microampere, I get an error because then something's wrong. Obviously, my dummy cell doesn't work. And I want to have a fail beep. That would in theory be it, but as I said, you always need to tell the instrument what to do when the script is finished. And usually what you tell your instrument is to set the cell to off. So I use the set cell command and I leave the box unchecked. If at any time you don't know if the MethodSCRIPT editor is doing exactly what you think it is doing compared to your usual scripts, you can on View just click on Script Preview, and then you can see the MethodSCRIPT ASCII code that would be generated by that visual MethodSCRIPT editor. Once we're done with all of this, we can again Click on Install App. And now I have here my chronoamperometry. And I just also want to put it on slot 3. So now slot 3 is filled with that method. Now that we've put the script on one of the buttons of our EmStat4T, let's see if it works. And to show that it works really standalone, I just disconnect here. We just press the Load Script button and then press the button where we put our script. Haha, and we see, because I have my cell in there, I get a positive result. But let's say I just am not capable of inserting my electrode or cell correctly. And now we should get like a current that is lower than the 50 microampere, and we got a negative result. So these are the different ways to put a script behind the buttons of your EmStat4T. As a reminder, there are 4 buttons that you can fill with individual scripts. You can do all the measurements you can do in PSTrace. You can do calculations on the EmStat4T. You can even search for peaks inside, so it can very standalone do a lot of things and show a result on the display. Videos that are coming up are how to change the looks of the touch display and what can you do with the QR code reader. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on LinkedIn so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching and have a great day.